Hi everybody, brand new program here called Unsolved Upstate, and it is exactly as it sounds. We're going to dig into some of these cases in the upstate that detectives are working hard to solve, maybe provide a little bit of information that provides answers to victims, families. I'm Gordon Dill, a reporter, and another reporter with us, Kelci O'Donnell.
We're super excited to get this rolling. There's so many cases across the upstate that are impactful and meaningful, and these, I think at the heart of it, they're real people with families and with friends that we want to help try and get to the bottom of it, maybe produce some new leads for these investigators who work tirelessly day in and day out on so many different cases just to be able to solve some of these cases and get some closure for families and for investigators too.
Well, this is our first attempt at doing this, and I think we've got a case where we are very encouraged that the possibility exists that someone out there knows answers to bring solutions to a case here. So let's introduce our guest here today. He is Captain Scott Kofer with the Union County Sheriff's Office. Scott, we appreciate you being with us today.
Glad to be here.
All right, so Scott, the case we're here to talk about, it happened in 2020, May of 2020, where 8 people were shot at a huge party. Let's start at the very beginning. A huge party in 2020. How did the Sheriff's Office become aware of the party, and how did it go badly?
So yeah, you're correct. This occurred on May the 23rd, 2020. They had a block party on Dover Road in Union County. We estimate to be around 1,000 people that were at that party.
Holy cow.
Excuse me. Around 8:30 that evening, our deputies got a call about vehicles from this party blocking the roadway or impeding traffic. Our deputies went out to the Dover Road area and noticed hundreds of cars on the lines on the side of the road of Highway 9 and 114.
So let me stop you right there quickly. So this is a huge party. You say 1,000 people there.
Correct.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a huge party. And by the way, I said May of 2020. This is
Heart
of COVID
yeah.
o'clock, right? This is a time when everybody's on lockdown. So 1,000 people have come out of their homes and are at this party on what, 9 and you said 118?
114.
114. Okay.
Yes.
And so deputies are there. Deputies are on site asking people at least clear up this traffic mess that we got, right?
Correct. So that was the initial call, was the vehicles impeding traffic. So once deputies got there, they noticed some cars that were across the white line impeding traffic. They went down to where the party was being held on Dover Road, spoke with the DJ, asked to make an announcement for them to move the vehicles out of the roadway. They waited approximately 30 minutes. No one come out. So deputies started calling for tow trucks to remove the vehicles. At that time, one of the deputies on scene come across the radio and stated that shots were being fired. At that time, the deputies turned their attention to that back at the party from the vehicles.
Yeah, I imagine they did.
So it was pure chaos. That time, I remember being at home, got a call and said, hey, we've got to shoot in a large crowd. So when I responded and got there, the major intersection, you could not even get a vehicle through that major intersection. So at that time, we had deputies down in there. They were advised that we had victims. There was actually a victim who we believe was trying to get away from the shooting that was actually up near the main road, and actually found one of our deputies found him next to the main road.
And when you say a victim, this is someone who is not involved in shooting. Do you think that these are innocents not involved in the gunfight?
No, sir. The two that died during this, through our investigation, we have nothing telling that they were a part of this shooting incident. We fully believe that they were innocent bystanders that were just at the party.
And let me identify them real quick. A 17-year-old named Jabri Brandon of Union, and a 21-year-old named Curtis Lamont Bomar of Spartanburg. Those are the 2 victims. You say, again, not involved in the shooting, but people gunned down and killed at the scene.
Yes, sir. That's according to everything that we have in our case file. We totally believe that they were just party goers that were there that night.
Now, as far as this area goes, is this something that you would typically see in that area, parties, or is the neighborhood somewhat quiet?
The Dover Road area, we have had some parties out there. Nothing of this magnitude, and nothing as far as chaotic as this. Everything has been pretty much peaceful for the parties that they've had out in that area. This was actually the first time we actually encountered something like this out in that area.
Hopefully the last in this case. I mean, how many rounds are fired out there? Because in addition to the 2 people I just identified as killed at this scene, there are, what, 5 other people who were shot and wounded?
Yes,
6?
sir. There were 6 more people that were wounded during this.
8 people shot at a party.
Correct. Some received multiple. There was one victim. She did make it, but she had 3 gunshot wounds to the neck and jaw area.
Wow.
But she did survive. Others had, hand, arm, shoulder. They were all treated. That was another thing, too, with this magnitude of the party. We were having to send the victims to Greenville, Spartanburg. Some went to Cherokee County just because of what we had going on. There was actually 8 victims.
And I think we have actually, you mentioned, Scott, that we have some of this body-worn camera footage. So tell me what we're about to watch here.
So, like I stated earlier, when arrived on scene and they were dealing with the vehicles, then the gunfire erupted. One of our deputies was close to the Dover Road off of Highway 114. So this is the body camera footage of him actually going into where the gunfire was, and the gunfire still going off.
All right, let's take a look at this quickly, Scott.
Back here.
Is there?
They say behind this house right here.
Behind us. All right. Stay back.
Stay here. Stay here. Stay there. We got something popping off up there. Union, shots fired, end of Dover Road. County.
Okay, so you can actually hear a deputy. This is remarkable to me. Deputy is already there.
It's scary.
The nerve that people think this is an opportunity, but how big a crowd are we talking about? How many people are crowded into this cul-de-sac at that time that the shooting starts?
So, it's guesstimation because, you can't sit there and count heads. But I can tell you this, like I said, myself and other investigators that were called out to that, when I got there, like I said, the main intersection, there were people running and screaming away from there. And my guesstimation is 200 to 300 people. And I was like, okay, there goes the crowd. Mm-hmm. And then when I actually turned on Dover Road, probably 300 to 400 more. Wow. And I was like, holy crap. But we had people that run into the woods. Like I said, this was a dead-end road where this party had been going on. So we had people popping out everywhere. So, it could have been more. That's just our guesstimation of around 1,000.
At that point, when you arrived on the scene, were gunshots still being fired?
Yes, like I said, even after the amount of time it took myself and others to get there, when we pulled up, gunshots were still going off. When I got out of my pickup truck, I could still hear the gunshots going off. Yes.
Unbelievable. So let's solve this then, if we can. You've obviously gathered, I imagine, a tremendous amount of physical evidence at the scene. There must be a tremendous number of shell casings. You must have interviewed, I imagine, 100, 200, 300 people at the scene. So you've got evidence of what happened out there, right? What do you need?
So we do. We interviewed each of the victims that were shot, and got a little bit of information from there. Also spoke to some on scene. We were able to make 2 arrests that night from the party. It was unrelated to the murders of the 2 males that passed away. But there was a witness that come forward and saw a vehicle turn up Dover Road before the shooting started. And, her statement to us was a male leaned out the window, and his exact words to them was, "Leave now if you don't want to die." And then the gunshot start going off. We were told that it was a silver-colored car. A black Camry was also involved. Our thing at the sheriff's office is, with that amount of people there, we believe somebody knows who's were in these cars.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because like I said, you've got people standing near the roadway, you got people in yards, you got people walking up and down the road. So we got a good description of the car. And as far as the silver car, we did find one down the roadway, but it was abandoned, and we didn't have a whole lot to go off. It was, we did a search warrant on it. We did take some DNA and things of that nature, but nothing has come back to help us with it. But we just believe, with the amount of people there and the party goers, that someone or someone's know who were in these vehicles. And I believe with the gunfire coming from these vehicles that initiated this, yes, we believe there was more gunfire, whether it was retaliation or someone trying to protect themselves and shooting back. There was more than one incident, but we believe one of the keys to help solve this is by figuring out who was in these vehicles.
Yeah. Now, as far as these victims go, we're talking 8 people. Some of them, you believe, may have been innocent bystanders who were just at the party, maybe unrelated to the motive. We don't even know if there is a motive, essentially, right now. 17 and 21 years old. That's gotta hit home for a lot of people who may be watching, who may be listening. Over 1,000 people at this party. Somebody's got to know something.
It does, and a lot of us in this profession are parents as well, have kids of that age, and like I said, you want them to enjoy life and have a good time. But what we try to tell anybody in any of the cases that we work is, put yourself in the shoes of the parents that lost these 2 kids. You would want help yourself, and that's why we're reaching out to ask, hey, come forward. We have Crime Stoppers. That's a key thing for us. If you don't want to directly come to the sheriff's office and meet with us, go through Crime Stoppers. Any tip, we'll track it down. It's not too small. You may think it's minute or may not help us, but it may be the missing puzzle piece that we need to help solve this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kelci, I don't know 1,000 people by name. You know what I mean? But
right.
I do know, okay, there's the guy with the hat. There was a guy with baggy shorts. Something that small, useful in an investigation like this?
Anything, or hey, I saw him show up in a car with somebody I do know. I don't know who that guy was, but he showed up with such and such, and I do know them. Anything that can put us on the path to track these people down. So yeah, we won't turn away any tip. We will do what we need to.
Union County is small, man. It's
it is.
In Union County,
it is.
Everybody in Union County
Yeah.
probably either knows somebody that was at that party or knows somebody who knows somebody was at that party. It's just not big enough for that to not be true.
And that is true. We're right around 26,000 people, 514 square miles. Now, we were told at this block party that there were people that come from other counties as well as other states. It's a mixture. But still, to get there, to show up at this party, somebody knows somebody,
So what exactly, do you know the age ranges of the other victims, the 6 others that were injured the night? Obviously 2 people, 17 and a 21-year-old, were shot and killed that night, but the other people who are still living, who have survived that shooting?
Yes, they were in their mid-20s.
Okay.
So what I have, it ranged basically from 17 up to 24, 25 years of age.
Young people.
So
yeah.
it was young people that were victims in this.
With a lot of life to live too.
Exactly, and that's the 17-year-old. The 21-year-old, they still had a lot of life to live,
So say their names one more time. Jabri Brandon, 17 years old, killed at a party during COVID. Curtis Lamont Bomar, 21 years old of Spartanburg, killed at this party. And again, as you said, 6 other people shot, some of them multiple times, in terrible traumatic wounds. One more time, Scott, for people who, my cousin knows a guy who was at that party, and here's what I heard him say. What number do they call? Tell them how to get in touch with you.
So they can call us directly at the Sheriff's Office, 864-429-1612. or they can go to our Facebook page and go through Crime Stoppers, or they can actually leave a tip on our Facebook page.
Just leave it on Facebook.
Exactly. You can leave us anything or go through Crime Stoppers. It pays cash rewards for information, that leads to these arrests. Or if you're out of Union County and you know something, call your local 911 and they will get in touch with us.
Scott, how important is this, knowing that any tip, maybe even the smallest one, could lead to something bigger, but knowing that these are families, you're working directly with families, with the community. A lot of people may be having some stuff that's weighing on their heart, or may have been for the past couple of years, but just solving that and maybe getting one step closer. How important is that for the community?
It's very important because, you want to have these events, whether it be a party or something, to where people want to feel safe, but they also want to feel like, hey, if something happens, just like the two that are deceased, somebody has to be a voice for them. Somebody has to tell us, hey, what happened. And like I said, small community. One of the gentlemen that passed away, I see his mother regularly because Union is small. And it's a hard thing for us, because we want to give them that closure. We want to tell them, hey, we got, a new tip, but, sometimes, it kind of goes cold. And so our hope is that, whoever knows what happened will step up and do the right thing to help us solve it.
All right, that is Scott Kofer, a captain with the Union County Sheriff's Office. You can tell why we said we think this one can be solved, because as Scott points out, there's got to be 100 people who saw something that could be useful here. This is Unsolved Upstate. I'm Gordon Dill, Kelci O'Donnell, Captain Scott Kofer. We've got another mystery to bring you right after we take a quick break. We're back with Unsolved Upstate, still trying to answer some mysteries and bring answers to families, the victims of families in many cases, and actually bring people to justice where there have been crimes committed. And once again, I am Gordon Dill, and another reporter with us again, Kelci O'Donnell. Hello, Kelci.
Hello. Yeah, we're super excited to be able to dive into this. I think the big thing about Upstate, Unsolved Upstate rather, I should call it, is that it's not all about homicide cases and crime. Sometimes we're diving into missing persons cases, which is the case today. We're bringing in Investigator Suber from the Union County Sheriff's Office, a number of years of experience under your belt. First of all, Roger, we really appreciate you joining us to talk about a little bit of this missing persons case that's come to the forefront of many people's minds. It was a case from just about 2 years ago. We thank you for joining us and coming in today.
Oh, we're happy to be here.
Yeah, so if you want to talk about the case, obviously this was a 2023 missing persons case. If you can dive into who we're talking about and what we know up till this point.
Right. The missing person case here is involving Jana Manasco. She's a 31-year-old white female. On September the 12th, her father, Jimmy Steins, reported her missing. He stated he'd been talking to her daily, sending her out Facebook messages. She didn't necessarily read the messages, but he can see where she had saw them. 3 or 4 weeks had passed. He hadn't had any communications with her, so he decided to make a missing person report.
Yeah.
And so let's there's you, there's me. So let's talk about Ms. Manasco. Jana Manasco.
Yes.
31 years old, a woman from the Union County area. She is described as, I have her right here, 5'4", 151 pounds. A picture of Ms. Manasco right here. So what do we know about her? Where did she hang out? Where is she last seen? What are the areas where we should be particularly focus the efforts to find her?
Well, she's from Union County. She was born and raised in Union. Her last known hangout areas was in the Monarch area of Union County.
Okay, and that's where she was last seen. I know she was reported missing in September of 23, but it sounds like she hadn't been seen for a couple of weeks before that.
Yeah, probably about a month before the actual missing date.
Wow. Okay. And any behaviors, anything that maybe you know about her? Does she have a permanent residence in Union County, or was she more from place to place? I mean, what is the background of this woman who we're trying to find?
Well, at the time she went missing, she was homeless and she didn't have a stable residence. She was just from pillar to post, where she can kind of lay her head at.
Okay. And any known associates, that kind of thing that you track backwards with, or is this just the kind of thing where you're casting a very wide net?
Well, she had a lot of friends, and then everyone we talked to said she was a good person. She was nice. Everybody liked her. You know, she was just an overall well-liked person. She was in a bad situation.
Yeah, Miss Manasco, I know we had talked a little bit off camera, was a pretty good athlete, too.
Yeah, she played baseball, very good baseball player.
Yeah, and I mean, she's got to tug on some heartstrings of people in the community, knowing maybe being a part of her team or just friends down the line of not knowing where she went.
Yeah.
And so let's walk through, as an investigator, how long you been investigating crimes like this, Roger?
I have a little over 25 years total law enforcement experience. I've been in investigations for roughly 7 years.
Okay, so you get a missing persons case like this. How often do these result in tracking somebody down? I mean, how often does a person just vanish and you never see them again?
It happens, unfortunately. You know, sometimes it's good turnout, sometimes it's bad. Obviously, in this one, we are hoping that she is alive and well.
I mean, it's been almost 2 years at this point, so it's possible, I suppose, she just left the area.
Yeah, we've thought about that also. She was known to frequent a place in Greensboro, North Carolina. We did reach out with those people up there. They do remember her coming in, but they don't have a whole lot of paperwork on her.
Okay.
And where do you go from here? I mean, you start at square one and you have a missing person. You have no idea where she was last seen. You kind of talk to people and try and figure out the type of person she is. But right now, at this point, what do you need from the community and how do we move forward?
Yeah. Someone knows something. We've done all kind of searches. We've done cadaver dog searches. We've done land searches where volunteer people come out and walk different areas of the Monarch area. We've done well searches. We've done Facebook searches on her phone, Facebook searches on cell phone searches on her phone, as well as the Facebook stuff. But what we've been able to get back from those Facebook searches and phone searches is very little.
Wow. So she hasn't been on her phone.
No social media, no phone or anything.
And frankly, at this point, it's hard to go anywhere where you pay anything in cash. You know what I mean? People pay everything electronically, so there's no activity on any kind of, there's no digital paper trail.
Like she's going off grid.
Wow. So I do have a quote here. This is a family friend that we interviewed 2 years ago when she went missing. She is somebody's daughter. She was a great girl, a great athlete, and a real pretty girl too. It's a shame it's come to this. Now, we don't know what this is, Roger, but whatever it is, people, what kind of information can they give you to help out? I mean, I've got her picture up here. I saw her 18 months ago at an Arby's. I mean, is that helpful to you, that kind of tip?
Any information we can get is a help. There's numerous leads coming in through Crime Stoppers. We've talked to well over 100 people into our office itself, not counting how many people we talked to on the streets just in passing. You know, everybody wants to find Jana. We want to find her, and that's the ultimate goal.
How important is the public's assistance in missing persons cases?
The public is front line. Somebody out there, they know it, they see everything, they talk to more people than we can talk to. You know, as far as churches, ball games, they talk. They know something.
Is it possible she doesn't want to be found?
I don't think that's the case in this one, because she has a son that she talked to every day before she went missing, and that communication just stopped. So I think she's want to be, if she's out there and she's still alive, hopefully she is, that she does want to come home and be with her family.
And this has got to weigh on investigators as well as the family too, not knowing. I mean, they have so many questions. We have so many questions, so I can't imagine how the family feels, or even investigators trying to dig into this case too.
Yeah, it's frustrating for us as well. Like I said, many people we talked to, the majority of them says, "Well, I heard this, I heard that."
Yeah.
You know, and we take that information all day long, but we need somebody out there to say, "I know what happened because of this." Not I heard, I know.
Or saw her within the past
saw her or
month,
something.
2 months, 3 months, any time. So is it still the case the last time she was seen is August 2023? No one's seen her at all since then?
No sightings, no sir, nothing.
Good grief. All right, well, we're going to hope for the best for her. Let's do this one more time. I have the number up here on this tiny print on this wanted poster here, but well, Roger, if you could tell people if they've seen something, if they think they know where Jana Manasco, sorry, Jana, what do they do? How do they get in touch with you, and what kind of information can they provide?
You can call the Sheriff's Office at 864-429-1612, or you can dial the non-emergency number at 864-429-1611. There's also Crime Stoppers number you can call. It's 864-427-0800. And the Sheriff's Office has a Facebook page. Reach out to the Facebook page or either Crime Stoppers, Sheriff's Office, 911. If you got any information whatsoever on Jana's whereabouts, please let us know.
Yeah. And I think it's so important too, on that note, even the smallest piece of information, I know we've seen this in a number of different cases, could be that missing puzzle piece that really kind of cracks the code for you guys and solves that case. Just even the smallest things of, hey, we might have seen somebody similar or looking to her, or anything like that, correct?
Anything helps. Any possible sightings, say I saw somebody that may be her, just anything, any tip we get, we follow up on it.
Now, was she known to change her appearance at all?
No, she did not.
So she's pretty consistent in what we've seen so far is what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
She is. One more time. Guys, if you have any information at all that can help provide answers, you said she has a child.
Yes, she has a son.
Very,
Yes, sir.
very, very interested in finding out where his mother is, and I know there are other people, neighbors and friends, who would like to get answers to this. Folks, you've been given the information. It is on your screen. We will provide it again as well. Crime Stoppers is good, and frankly, wherever you're seeing this, call 911 and say, I got information that can solve a case. They'll put you in touch with the right people. You are watching Unsolved Upstate. We are trying to find a missing woman, and we appreciate you joining us here. Investigator Roger Suber, thanks for being our guest today.
You're welcome. Thank you.